All right, so this is now my third scale and space shot. So I tweaked the perspective a little bit, got everything lined up. The focus is overall a little blurry, but it's the same for everyone, so it's a successful manipulation of scale and space. So I saved that as Carl Scale 3. So now I have all three saved, and I've played with their manipulations just of the space around them and kind of made them more focal points in the scene. Becomes a nice little robot series, right, with the robot in all three. But they're all different visual games manipulating scale and space. Now I want to try altering other things. So remember that you can't bring focus back to a photo, but you can make it appear sharper through your use of levels, right? So I'm going to do an adjustment layer. Just keep it really simple. New adjustment layer, levels. Then I'm going to play with heightening the contrast a little bit, brightening the midtones, deepening the shadows, not so that we lose textural content, but just so it appears a little bit sharper. This is actually a very balanced exposure, so there's not a whole lot I can do to optimize without losing something. But we'll see if the levels adjustment makes a difference. All right, so that's with it, and this is without it. I think it helps to kind of cut out the robot from the environment and leads our eye to where we want, so I think that's helpful. And then I might do a layer, adjustment layer, color balance. And just give it a little bit of a temperature change. Especially if I make kind of the shadows a little bit bluer, that will help bring a little bit more contrast to the image and make it appear a little bit more in focus, right? So this was without it, and this is with it. I think all of that helps. All right, and then what I can do, hold down Option, say Layer Merge Visible at the top, so everything's in one layer. Turn off everything. And then the one manipulation of focus that I do often like is what's called a high pass filter. And I do that through my max texture, my max texture action. So if I only have one thing open in Photoshop, actually it should work even if I have multiple things open in Photoshop because I'm not doing the full run up. And I'm just going to run that action on this one layer. Let's see, did it do anything? Doesn't look like it did much. Let me try it again. Why is it not current? Oh, I see why. So I need to have that layer selected, and now let's try it. And I'm on the wrong file. Now let's try it. Be selected on this layer. Okay, there we go. So that kind of heightens the edges of things and is a little extreme, but does help with the focus. So I'm going to copy that, Command A, copy it, paste it on top here, and then use it as an overlay layer. Actually, let's do a soft light, which doesn't blast it out as much, and then take down the opacity a little bit. So you see, it just sharpens it a little bit through contrast and high pass. So this actually looks fairly in focus now. It works. All right, so now I'm going to save that, and I'll save it as a JPEG so I can put it up to PhotoBucket. We want 80% to be done in the exposure and then just 20% quick processing like this. I went ahead and used the layer adjustments. Oh, don't need this one. So that with these others, my other PSD. I can just carry those layer adjustments over. So if I pull this one out, I can take these two layers, turn them on, select them both holding down Shift. And drop them on top of my other exposures. And then they will affect them in a similar way. Same thing here. Carry them over, drop them on. See, helps a little bit. Then I can do the high pass filter with max texture high pass on each one. Copy it, it's pretty extreme, paste it on, set it to soft light, or maybe pin light. Yeah, pin light's the one I want. And then take down the opacity until it's not overwhelming. Yeah, this doesn't need much actually. Let me try soft light. Yeah, that works. Okay, and then the next one. Select it all, copy it, paste it on top. Yeah, I want pin light for that. And that actually helps right at 100%. Cool. So save these and then save them as JPEGs. And then I upload the raw exposures with the processed exposures. So I'm not doing vignetting. I'm not removing shadows or doing anything crazy if I don't have to. Just keep the processing effective and focused. Okay. Now I can close these up, and to kind of see what the processing did, I upload both sets. So here they are. Here are my shots. This is number 1. Unprocessed and processed. Here is number 2. Unprocessed and processed. Here is number 3. Unprocessed and processed. Go to assignment 9. You will upload yours right here. I will put mine in instructor demonstrations. bring all 6 photos in, and then we'll arrange them like this: unprocessed, processed, unprocessed, processed, unprocessed, processed. And the way you will do that is the same way we did with architecture. You will title them with your name and then a number system. Instead of my name, I'll use a semester code. So this will be 1A. So you would do your name and then 1A. This is the unprocessed first shot. And then for the processed one, your name and 1B. And then for your second shot, unprocessed, your name and 2A. For processed, your name and 2B. And for the last, 3A and 3B. This is my process shot, so that's 3B. You have to use the check mark to have it remember your titling. And then this is FA, or your name, and 3A. And the reason we title them isn't just to help me know who to give credit for the work, but it's so they will all line up correctly if we organize them by title, like so. See, all of those line up correctly, and then all my old ones do not. So I need to title my old ones too. Unprocessed and then processed. Unprocessed and processed. So titling can be a pain, but you want to control how your stuff is seen. And that will do it. And then when we go to the actual view of the album and we view it by file name, all of your work should go together.